Hi, I'm Linda, and we're back on Department Stories, and I'm continuing my conversation with Beth Hoppe. Okay, so the movie's almost ending, and what happens then?
All the writers go on strike.
And good timing.
Everyone's out of work.
And you're
so
like, I
we're
just
all
started.
freaking out. Yeah, I just started. I just came into this town, and everyone's like, the town's going to be done. And I got a call from a friend of mine that I worked with in New York, and she worked on the Soap Opera General Hospital and said, we need somebody. Why don't you come in? And I wasn't really sure about it at first, and all my friends were like, it's a job. There's not going to be any jobs. Take a job. Soaps are going to keep going. So I went in and I was hired as the set costumer, which I had never really done as a full-time position. But I mean, it was something new for me. It was interesting, and I said I would take a shot.
So the movie, you shopped, you played, and then you just kind of let go and just kind of monitor stuff. So this now you're on sets.
On set all day.
What's your typical day going on?
The day started with meeting our crew met. The wardrobe crew met. We went over the script, what was being shot that day, which on a soap opera is completely different from a movie. A movie is about 8-9 scenes a day, and a soap opera is about 40. So I knew the first day that this was going to be like really fast paced, and which is great for me. I work better under pressure. I like to have to move around really fast. So we would meet in the morning, go through the script, what was being shot, figure out what we needed, what we had, and then the other set costumer and I would put all the clothes, set up the actors' rooms for them, and then go on set and start shooting. And our basic job was to make sure that the actors looked completely perfect right before the scene started shooting, and to take continuity notes, and that was our main job. And we had to take notes on everything they did. If they rolled up their sleeves in a scene, we had to say how much they rolled it and at what point, so that if we needed to reshoot something, it was exact.
Wow.
So it was all day note taking for about, I don't even know how long the days were, 15, 12, 14 hours a day.
Are some actors harder to follow because they're like always like...
There's some actors that are fussy. Yeah, there's some that like to fuss with themselves. There's some that were really good and like knew that was what we had to keep track of. So they tried really hard to like, if they put something down, to put it down again in the same place. But there were some that just like didn't care and would like take their coat off in the middle of the thing. And so there was some, but you just get used to them. And I mean, you can only catch so many, mistakes and make it look the best you can.
So you just like frantically just take
frantically
notes,
just sat all day like this, watching a monitor, taking notes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's funny when I would see the air shows, I wouldn't even remember because I didn't know what the story was going on.
You just knew if they unbuttoned their shirt or if they...
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening in the storylines because people would ask me, like big fans of, that I grew up with would call me and like, what's happening? And I'm like, honestly, I don't pay attention. I don't know. I'm too busy like worrying about where their sleeve was and where they put their coat that I can't even focus on the story.
Oh my gosh.
So it was interesting.
Yeah, that's hard. That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
So you just take pictures like at the end of the scene and the beginning of the scene?
Yeah. Yeah, you had to have pictures for every single time that they were in that outfit in a scene. If they changed anything, you had to try to grab them, which was really tricky to try to grab an actor 3 or 4 times and make them stand for a picture. And
oh my gosh. Now a hospital since it's General Hospital, do you deal with a lot of the blood and guts and like ripping stuff? And
there was a lot of that, especially working on a soap opera. I think that was my favorite thing that I learned that I got to add to my resume, which I never had before, was I got to do a lot of distressing because there was always a fire or a flood or a shooting or somebody, falling off a cliff so there was always a lot of like distressing with dirt and water and blood. That was always really fun. And like doing all the surgeries, we always had to take care of all the blood on the doctors and make sure it matched. And it's not easy. You would think it's a hospital show like Scrubs, it's easy, but it was really hard.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Beth. And thank you guys for watching the Department Stories on the Virtual Channel Network. And please tune in next week.